why even during the time of Abacha and Babangida, when there was trouble in Liberia, Nigeria under ECOMOG was able to go there and support those countries to come out of the impulse that they were in. In Sierra Leone, there was a democratically elected government that was overthrown. Even though Abacha was a military head of state, he ensured that that democratically elected government was re-enthroned. And so Nigeria all over the world is being seen as one country within the West African sub-region that stands for democracy at all times. It might not be perfect, but the fact that we have a civilian administration gives hope. It tells us that we have a direction. We know where we're going. We may not be getting it the way all of you sitting here want it, but we pray and hope that with time we will get it right. And once we get it right, all the problems that we are talking about in Nigeria will then become things of the past. Our demography is one thing that globally people are pointing at. Nigeria has a youthful population. We are a population of over 250 million. 60% of this is made up of people between the age of 20 and 35. Young people who are full of energy, who are full of innovation, who are full of ideas, who can do anything. And for that, Nigerians are all over the world. Those of us, or those of you that are in the diaspora, are trailing the blaze in your various professions. The Nigerian diaspora is today being considered as one of the most resilient. In terms of education, you go to America, come to Europe, Nigeria has been recognized as one of the societies or communities with the highest people with doctorate degrees. You go to Canada, it's the same. And we hope that tomorrow, those of you who are in various parts of the world, acquiring knowledge, acquiring experience, will one day go back to Nigeria to contribute to the growth and development of our country. The Asian tigers today, countries like Malaysia, South Korea, Indonesia, India, name them. The leaders of those countries today are those who were before now in the diaspora. After acquiring so much knowledge, doing well in their respective businesses, they went back to contribute in terms of knowledge and ideas to develop their countries. They say knowledge is power. Information is the currency that we use in driving that power. And all of you sitting here in the diaspora have that knowledge. You have that information that it takes to turn around the country. And honestly, for me, as a principal representative of Nigeria, I look forward to that day that Nigerians living abroad, Nigerians in the diaspora, will begin to come back home in droves to share their wealth of knowledge and experience with those at home, to direct the path and trajectory of our development, to ensure that we grow and take our rightful position in the Committee of Nations. You have what it takes. So when I come here to interact with you, it gives me joy. This is not my first time of coming here. The last time I came here was sometimes in November last year. And I came at the invitation of Abigail Marshall Atun, who today is to be sworn in as the Lord Mayor of Leeds City. And I tell you, I'm so proud of her. I'm inspired, and I'm confident that with that kind of person and all of you sitting here, Nigeria has hope, and all of us as Nigerians are hopeful. When I came, It was at the instance of the commissioning of hibiscus status, which itself was put in place by a Nigerian artist, Yinka Shonibare, to commemorate and celebrate the life of David Oluwole, whom you all know. I don't know, you must have heard of David Oluwole. David Oluwole is a Nigerian who came, he was born in 1930, and he came to United Kingdom in 1966. He hid in a ship to get here from Lagos. And when he arrived, he was apprehended and charged as a stowaway. That is, he came on the ship without pay. So, though at that time, as a Nigerian, he was a British subject. You didn't need a visa at that time to come to Nigeria. So he did not require a visa. So he wasn't an illegal immigrant. But because he came on that ship as a stowaway, he was apprehended and charged on that ground and sentenced to 28 days imprisonment. David Oluwole, after being released, somehow found himself to Leeds. Unfortunately, he was again arrested because he was in a hotel and a disagreement ensued between him and the hotel management on account of billing. And the police were invited. He was beaten, and later charged and was again sentenced for another period. By the time he came out of prison, maybe because of the beating, he became hallucinated and he became a destitute. He had no home, nowhere to live. He had no job. He was living on the street. And in the course of that, he unfortunately again came into contact with some overzealous two policemen who continued to wound him. He was wounded by these policemen, brutalized, and just every time, sometimes they would beat him, take him and go and dump him in the outskirts of Leeds, hoping that when he's thrown out of the city, he will never come back. But David had a kind of sense of belonging, an attachment to this city. So anywhere you took him, he will come back. They continued to brutalize him, terrorize him, and subjected him to all manners of acts of inhumanity. The last time those that knew him said they saw him was when he was being chased by those two policemen towards River Elbe. And he was never seen again. 2 weeks later, his body was seen floating. That was how David Oluwole passed. I think that there was a bridge here called, I don't know, David Oluwole Bridge. That's where he died. So I'm just saying this because this is a city that has had some kind of connection with Nigerians as far back as in the 60s. And I'm really, really delighted to come here to see that we have a huge Nigerian community, that the members are doing so well. They are very committed to themselves and committed to whatever endeavors they found themselves in. I want to encourage you to keep on and keep on in that spirit. The Nigerian High Commission will continue to stand with you and support you in any area that you think you need our support. Do not hesitate to reach out to us. Do not hold back. In recent time, we have been working energetically to see that some of the challenges, because in this country, one thing I know Nigerians face is the challenge of getting their passport or having the passports renewed. When I came here in 2021, I mean when I came to UK on tour of duty, it was so bad that some people will come and complain that they have applied for renewal of their passport 1 year on, they are not able to get the passport. But from the time I came, we put our efforts together with the former High Commissioner, Ambassador Sharaf Atunji Ishola, who left last year. We worked together to put processes in place to ensure that we assuage the pains and difficulties that Nigerians were going through in the effort to get their passport. And today, I am proud to tell you that from waiting for maybe 6 months to a year, you can apply for your passport, and once you get your appointment and you are able to come to the High Commission for biometrics, within 2 weeks highest, you are able to get your passport. But let me explain, so that if you go and apply now and you are given an appointment to come for a biometric in the next 1 or 2 months, you will say, oh, the High Commissioner gave you wrong information. That is a different process. Because that process is completely beyond the control of those of us working in the High Commission in London. The process of appointment regulation is done by the Nigerian Immigration Service in Abuja on their server. So when you apply, the appointment is generated by the computer based on the number of people that have applied before you. And so it will randomly give you an appointment on the principle of first come, first serve. So I know Nigerians have been going through that and they are very much worried. But we have also been talking with the immigration to see how they can relinquish that power of regulating appointment to the High Commission in London, so that we can always find a way of attending to certain urgent situations. But besides that, once you have your appointment and you come for biometrics, within 48 hours, your passport will be delivered to you at your doorstep. So this is what we're doing. And we also come to realize that a lot of Nigerians have consular cases. Some are in prison for reasons that they shouldn't be there. Some, their children have been taken away from them for very flimsy excuses. But I will leave that. When Mr. Okeke wants to talk to you, he will tell you the effort that we have been doing. We've been inundated with a lot of complaints from our compatriots who are going through these kind of things. We have even had a course to hold meetings with the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office to draw their attention to this and to let them know that some of these things that are happening are completely antithetical to our own culture. We have our culture, you people have your own culture. And there has to be that recognition of the fact that some of these people who come here initially experience what they call culture shock. And you have to give them the benefit of that. But yes, they will also tell you that this is what their own law says. And because it is a provision in their own law, they cannot compromise. So what we do now is to consciously create awareness among our Nigerians as to the do's and don'ts, so that they save themselves from the pains of some of these law enforcement agents who, out of envy or out of whatever sentiment, primordial sentiment, want to come and take your children away. It's so sad to see someone being deprived of providing custody of his own children, and those children are taken away and entrusted in the custody of a stranger. It's something that is better imagined than said. But we continue to work on that. Okay, we'll give you details maybe when you in the course of your questions and answers. So, my brothers and sisters, let me not continue to bore you with all this. I want to appreciate you for what you are doing. Jai told me of the monumental efforts that collectively you guys are doing in terms of even having a food bank that serves to support Nigerians who are here with their families that may have some challenges of feeding them adequately. And I think, to me, that is the highest support you can give to your brother or sister, giving him food to eat. Because someone who is not hungry knows that he can sleep, think well, and wake up the next day to plan for his life. So I thank you so much for that humanitarian service which you are all doing. Keep it up, and God the Almighty will continue to bless you. Together we can make Nigeria great. Thank you all.